everybody? Welcome back to another episode of All Things Super. I am one of your hosts, Spider. It is a feel-good show, and now I'm joined once again by Mr. VIP Frankie Washington. How you doing today, sir?
I am. Oh, this is what I wanted to tell you.
Okay.
I have mastered the art of looking like me. No. Before your mind goes a wandering, stay with me. Okay. I have mastered the arts of looking like me, myself. Now, you may say, well, he looked like somebody. No, he doesn't. He looks like him, and I look like me. And I have mastered this. I don't think anyone else looks like me besides me. Though you may look like you don't look like me. And with that being said, I am infinitely awesome, sir. Thank you for asking. How are you doing? What? Who looks like you? No one. Just you.
Damn, they're all of our siblings.
They look like them. They don't look like you. You look like you. Don't you?
I mean, of course I'm going to look like me because I'm me.
Of course. I never said anything that I said was wrong. It's just
I'm struggling with the concept of you.
Why are you struggling?
Because you said you mastered the art of looking like you.
That is correct.
How have you not mastered this already?
Oh, I've been mastered it a long time ago.
So why are you just not bringing it up?
I like to bring up the hits, the oldies but goodies. Yeah, you mastered looking like you when you were born.
Yeah. Well,
exactly.
I wouldn't say that.
Unless you're a twin, but you still look like you
when you were born, because you still don't necessarily look like you. Your body still.
Oh yeah, you don't have those features. Yeah, I'm gone. What? I didn't say it. Yeah, man, we can't afford to get sued, okay?
We're not getting sued by anybody. I can guarantee that.
Okay, well, how can you guarantee that?
Listen, I had a life before this.
Oh, wow. I don't even know. Welcome to the show. It's just a conversation.
It's just a conversation.
It's just a conversation. Y'all know what y'all clicked on. This is All Things Super. You know what it is.
This is All Things Super. Where every week we take a piece of super-powered movies, TV shows, even trailers. We watch them, we review them, we react to them, and we break them down. And we answer the question, is it super?
What was that you said? React to?
I said
what?
react. I said react them, and then I corrected myself to react to them.
You're a better man than me. I wouldn't even corrected myself. See how polite Spider is?
Listen, I want to maintain an air.
Y'all gonna catch these words how y'all catch them.
I want to maintain an air of professionalism as it pertains to the intro and outro. Everything in between is no holds bar. It's all up for grabs.
I done made up some words on this show. You can't tell me I haven't.
Oh, that's no doubt about that. For our hardcore listeners, if you can go back through the episodes and find all of the words.
That's too much homework
that Mr. VIP Frankie Washington has made up.
Spider giving y'all homework. Spider giving y'all homework.
I'm not going to take off points for spelling.
Hilarious.
I just want to listen to the words. But leave that in the comments below. But if you like the show, go ahead, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you can be notified when we have new episodes that come out. If you want the audio version of the podcast, just search for All Things Super on any of your favorite podcast streaming platforms. And if you want to join in on the conversation, just tweet at us at ATSuperPod.
And we like reading the comments. That was 7, not me.
Listen, I thought we were done with 7.
7 lives on.
7 is going to get assassinated.
That is what you do to the greats. Oh my God. That is just horrible. How do we escalate to this?
Listen,
murder.
You know how I feel about 7. Me and 7 got beef. 7 gonna catch these hands if I ever catch them in the streets.
There's so much anger coming from that side. I don't understand. On one side.
Because I'm furious.
7 loves you. Yeah, deal with that.
I'm
deal with those raw emotions.
I don't want that. I don't want that unrequited love. I don't love 7.
Wow. Oh wow! I don't know what you're gonna do in Vegas, buddy, because it's either or.
Listen, I'd be like Alvin Kamara and just get into the fight in the casino.
You don't You don't bring your chips home when that happens.
Look, that's why you get somebody else to bring it home for you.
Oh, I sound like I got a job to do. All right,
There you
so
go.
if you clicked on the thumbnail, you know what it is, even though we're talking about other stuff.
This is what we always do.
Yeah. The consistency is that we're inconsistent.
Yes, it
Welcome
is.
to the show.
Welcome
You
to
never
the show.
know what you're going to get when you click. Spontaneous nonsense. No formulaic formula. We told y'all it was unscripted a long time ago.
I can see that on the shirt.
Which part?
Spontaneous nonsense.
Yeah, you could have it.
We'll work it out.
Told you I've been doing things. I'm like the new Kanye with no affiliation. Except the old Kanye. What? He took one. That was a hit, man. That dude was. Put the Jamie Foxx on there.
Oh, you talking about Gold Digger?
Yeah. What you thought I was
I
talking
don't
about?
know what the hell you said.
Oh man, come on. You know Gold Digger.
Yes, I know Gold Digger, but what you said didn't sound anything like Gold Digger.
I've been making up words this whole time.
You can't make up words if you're trying to recite lyrics.
You knew what I was talking about.
No,
you got it.
Didn't. You had to tell me what it was.
Nah, you got it.
No,
you got it.
Let us know in the comments if you figured out that was Gold Digger.
All that homework.
Listen, I want to see comments on this video.
Hey, since we're talking about Fast 10, right?
And then we're talking about the entire franchise.
Okay, so
but I mean, leading into Fast 10, yes.
You're saying the same thing that I'm saying because we're talking about, family.
Right.
We're talking about this conversation. Like, I don't know for how many times. I guess since every time they come out with a new one, we find ourselves talking about this saga or the franchise because it's past the saga now.
Well, I mean, it's still considered a saga.
I think it's interesting how Dominic Toretto, family, is a genius. No one talks about his genius. We talked about this, you and I have, on multiple times. Like I said, we usually talk about it every time it comes out, which causes us to go back and rewatch from the first one to the most current one. That's what franchises do.
Right.
And those are some enjoyable movies. Some are better than others. Yeah,
for sure. But I feel like that's with every franchise.
I think the reboot killed the game. And we all know the one we're talking about.
Oh, absolutely.
It's the one with the Samoan that came in there and played the role that was meant for him to play.
Well, technically.
What?
Technically.
Here we go.
Technically, Fast 4 or Fast and Furious was the reboot. Because
you're talking about you know what?
With Braga.
You right.
Because
and for them to tie it all in.
Right. Because the thing about it is that we started with the Fast and the Furious because I don't remember what episode it was, but we talked about all the different naming conventions and how it just nothing consistently inconsistent is what the Fast Saga has been. But we started out with the Fast and the Furious, and of course we get introduced to all of our main characters. We get introduced to Dom, we get introduced to Brian and Letty and Mia and Jesse and Vince and all of them.
Right.
And so because of I believe it was scheduling conflicts, Vin Diesel couldn't come back for
wait. Here's the thing though. Before you go off into the franchise, there's one part of the original Fast and Furious that sticks through this whole franchise. For those who know. For those who don't know, pay attention because I'm going to tell you this how they got you. They stayed true to their word about who Toretto was. When Brian came to see Mia, even though Brian had other intentions, leave it at that. Mia said, he's got you now. People gravitate towards my brother.
Right.
Since that moment, you have seen Toretto reel people in
Basically, welcome in any and everybody that he's come into contact with.
and show respect
Yeah.
and show love. And they end up rocking with him.
Mm-hmm.
When he had the opportunity to leave you stuck out, he right there for you. He's looking out for family. Because when Vince got killed, you ain't got to worry about her, Vince. She's straight.
I got eyes on Nico now.
I got it. And then the thing about it, he shows up out of anywhere. He's almost mystical. You just hear a charger, there he is. When they opened the door and Brian and Mia saw him, it's like, we saw he got there the night before, but we didn't know where he was. You know, we was kind of a silhouette. That's what I'm saying. It's mystical. You hear? It can be a horror movie.
So, here's my question.
Go for it.
We get into technically the 10th movie of the franchise, but the 9th movie as far as Vin Diesel's main story is concerned.
Yeah.
Because out of the
killing Harry Potter right now. He got Harry Potter numbers.
Out of the 9 Fast films,
how many Harry Potter
main
had?
storyline
8?
films had 8, yes.
Yeah.
But out of the 9 main storyline films, Dom has only not been in one of them.
Correct.
But my question is, every film that he's in, he has his charger.
Correct. Or a version of a charger.
Oh, a version of a charger. But we've been worldwide in these films.
Right.
How is he, I won't say how, but is he transporting his charger to these different locations, or is he looking specifically for, because I think it's for like a 78 charger or something like that? Is he looking for that specific charger when he gets to these locations? Because in Fast 5 specifically, he was on the run. He had just broken out of prison. Well, broken out of a prison transport. And so between being in California and getting to Brazil, did he go home and get his charger and then drive all the way down to Brazil? Or did he arrange, because at that point they didn't really have no money, because that's why they were picking up the job with Vince, because they were trying to get some money. Or did he arrange to have a charger flown down to Brazil, or did he find a charger in Brazil?
Let me tell you, ain't nothing like family. Ain't nothing like it. Ain't nothing like family. Clearly he knows a guy.
He knows a lot of guys.
Oh, clearly, because once you get in that circle, you in. He looking out for you. So I guess if you go hold a charger down for him, but they had already said that they had money. They never was not without money. They had they had a little diner. They had a garage.
Yeah,
plus
they had
it was
convenience store and everything.
Right. Yeah. So it's never like it comes later on that they was the owner of Race Wars. That was a twist that we didn't expect, but that was like, hey, ding, 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 ding. This dude is smart.
Yeah.
Like, he's not just a meathead. He's not a muscle jockey. He's intelligent. He may not seem like it, but somewhere along the line, he's calculating physics, gravity.
Not even that he's calculating gravity. He's just straight up defying this motherfucker.
And he's still alive. He's still alive. He just walks out, limps a little bit, and still make it home for the barbecue.
Because I was flying home, and it just so happened to have some of the Fast and Furious movies on the in-flight movies. So I watched Fast 5 again, and that's where we get our first fight between Toretto and Hobbs.
Here we go.
And so I was just wondering, in your opinion,
okay,
if those two were to have a knockdown, drag out.
Hey man, what is going on right now? What are you trying to start? What are you doing?
I'm just saying, if the two of them.
Don't ask me this question. You know we keep it real on this show.
I know we keep it real. I have an answer. I have an answer.
Let me ask you a question.
So if those two actually had to go at it, And I'm not talking about I'm not talking about as far as movies are concerned and contracts, because we already know that both of them probably having a clause that neither one of them can lose. But as
Hey,
far
man,
as the characters,
gotta protect the money.
as far as the characters of Dominic Toretto and Luke Hobbs, if the two of them were to go at it one on one, just end all be all fight, who do you think would come out on top?
What's your answer?
I'm asking you, so I want you to give your answer.
Damn it! I thought you was gonna fall for that.
No, not this time.
God damn. Tyrese.
Not an option.
What are you talking
Not
about?
an
Why do you
option.
think Tyrese can't win?
Not an option.
What's going
I'm
on
talking
in the
about
world
one
today?
on one between Toretto and Hobbs.
Character-wise.
Nobody else is involved. Character wise.
Character-wise.
Character, not actors.
God damn. How long have you been holding on to this question?
I actually just thought about it when I was watching the movie on the flight.
This how Tetris your mind. That's how spider works. That's how a spider works. Now I'm caught in a trap. I plead the fifth.
Wow.
5. Yep, that's right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you, Dave Chappelle.
Taking a coward's way out.
That's not a coward's way out. That's a wise decision.
That's your answer. You plead the fifth.
That's it. So many amendments. I might tell y'all later. All depends.
Okay.
I'm excited for the new one though.
Yeah. I mean, Hobson's going to be in it. So.
Well, that's just sad that they can't, put aside that, because it was like a revamp, even though you said the revamp was kind of before that.
Right. They had to build up to it. They had to kind of.
And then they started tying it in, and they made them like, you got to deal with this. Like, you're a criminal now, and we're not just going to say, we'll catch you someday. Right. We're sending the biggest, baddest motherfucker after you. Like, it's an honor. Thank you. The man came prepared. His team came prepared. Mm-hmm. They knew everything about him, and they knew one important goddamn thing. You don't let them get into cars. You do not let them get... When he said that line, everything else was done, because it's like, I know the game that y'all play when y'all get into cars. So we got to take them on land. We got to be smarter. We got to strategically do it. And where did he show up? Right in his face. Right in his... It was a showdown. Right in his face. Like, I am coming for you, boy. You can't touch me. That moment right there shocked the world. Because if you saying character-wise, tension is at an all-time high.
Absolutely.
And we know that Toretto a good dude.
Yeah.
Not to say that he can't swing. He just a street dude. And he got the backing of the street. And you in foreign land. So we go ahead and strategically set up our trap, like spiders do. And when they came head to head, I knew contracts were involved. I knew these guys, but I think they did it the best way they could possibly do it. Which, when you have those situations, you always have, here's me telling on the industry, an interruption of some sort, because there's no other way to end it without having a definitive winner.
All right.
And we don't need that yet, because we got a franchise to build, and it was on it. And then they became friends, because that's the one thing about Toretto that they stick to throughout this saga. I would not be surprised if I find out that Cypher is, she is working with Toretto.
Is she?
Did I just... Sorry. Maybe not, because Michelle Rodriguez is swinging on him. But chances are, I don't know. Black Widow said it's pheromones.
What does that have to do with anything?
I'm trying to get a movie some help. Black Widow was just...
Why are you even bringing up Black Widow?
Because if she's working to help Toretto, he's done nothing with her besides stand next to her. How else would she start to help him? She kidnapped his kid, shot his baby mama, almost got Letty killed. Then she's about to fight Letty.
So I'm wondering how
Cypher.
Black Widow factors into this.
Because the plot line was that Dreykov had pheromones to stop the widows from attacking him.
So what does it have to do with the Fast and Furious movies?
Dominic Toretto is exuding pheromones.
No,
if I
that
have to
had-
explain the
That had
joke, it's
nothing
not
to
funny.
do with the plot of the movie.
No, you're missing what I'm saying.
I
I'm
am
saying if
totally
Cypher is
missing.
working for Toretto, which he seems to do, every time he meets someone, he ends up earning their respect somehow. You even got the Shaw brothers working with Toretto.
And you think
Both
it's because
of them.
You think it's because of pheromones?
No, I'm not saying that. I was trying to help Black Widow.
But
I was trying to make some type of connection. There was no spark. There was no
of
spark.
Of course there wasn't, because two
Okay,
movies are completely unrelated, which is why I'm confused.
It had pheromones that I try to force in there. See, the pheromones didn't work. That's okay. We all good now.
Okay.
So going back to what I'm saying, he's recruiting people. The gentleman in Brazil that he run the war, yeah, he did win the race. He ended up keep your keys. Go.
That was in Puerto
Want
Rico.
your respect. That was in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. Cardi B is here. When did that happen?
I mean, they always have some type of rapper or somebody make a cameo.
Yeah, Rita Ora was in there, one of them, right?
Rita Ora was in one. Iggy Azalea was in one.
And yeah, they're known for having somebody in hip hop or fashion. I thought BB Rex was in one too, but maybe I'm just imagining.
Well, I don't know.
Well, they need to make that happen too. If they didn't, that's all I'm saying. So everybody he meets, he befriends. He even have the Daughters of Atlas.
I already knew where you were going. Helen Mirren.
Yeah, it's all right. Sometimes
was
sometimes there's a spark.
Mother Shaw. I don't remember her first name, but basically the Shaw brothers mother.
And the mother. We got the brothers and just nobody gonna say I don't like him. Like he's the friend that comes over that he could stay. Nobody like I don't like him. He's that guy, and he's a genius. There's no way you can slingshot a car into a mountain and not die. But if you do it,
yeah. If anybody else does it,
if he do it, and he walked away. Dominic Toretto is who I'm talking about.
And this is why. Going back to my question of who would win in a one-on-one fight between the two,
character-wise,
it would be Toretto.
Yeah, sure, okay.
Because character-wise,
he held his own in the fight.
He did hold his own in the fight. I mean, both of them got some pretty good looks in on each other, but at the end of the day,
very well done.
At the end of the day, they went through walls. Yeah, they went through walls. They went through windows. But at the end of the day,
I don't hate somebody that much that I'm gonna fight you through a wall. Like, if I go through a wall, look, dude, come on, what we doing? It's the fight. I ain't saying I'm about to quit. I'm just saying we went through a wall right now. Is it that serious?
But
clearly it was.
You take a look at everything that Toretto has been through: the car accidents, the explosions. And
they ain't told me that.
You look at what Hobbs has been through. Hobbs got blown out of a window, landed.
Yeah, he kind of jumped. So
blown out of the window. Same.
I don't know which one's worse. Well, but I was saying it's more scary to jump.
It landed him in the hospital. Have we ever seen Dominic Toretto? I don't know. It was for a while. He was in there for a good little bit. But have we ever seen Dominic Toretto with so much as a fractured bone? Not even broken, just fractured.
So here's the thing. Is he a part of the Hobbs and Shaw spinoff like Idris Elba's character? Is he a part half Synthezoid man?
I don't think that he has any type of cybernetic technology in his body. It's just Dominic Toretto is just written to be indestructible. That's all it is. But character-wise, that's
submarine.
His character.
with a car. He jumped the sub. Evil Knievel never did no
He's
shit like.
jumped a lot of things with that damn car.
Here we go. Let's go. You're the one that's been saying in so many iterations. You turn your brain off. This is a popcorn movie. You're
Because
here for the boom, boom.
because like I said, there was a distinct transition, and we started off the franchise, and I was kind of going into it. We started off the franchise. We got introduced in the first one. The second one, and I was just looking it up, and was because Vin Diesel wasn't happy with the script of Too Fast, Too Furious.
I understand.
So he opted out. They kept Paul Walker. They found a co-star in Tyrese. They pulled in Ludacris, and so they had their whole story in Miami. Going into Fast and Furious 3,
it was not a bad movie.
It wasn't a bad movie. I thought it was fun. I thought it was.
It brought in Eva
Mendes.
It
brought in Eva Mendes. We had the character that played Suki. She was pretty fun, and we got the introduction to Tej. And of course, we learned more about the relationship, about how Brian was before he became a cop.
Right.
So we get that little bit of backstory. But so going into Fast and Furious 3, Tokyo Drift, Paul Walker didn't want to do it. Vin Diesel still didn't want to do it. And so they had to revamp the whole they had to revamp the whole story.
Mm-hmm.
And just so happened at the end of the movie, in the post-credit scene, we get the cameo from Vin Diesel just to tie the entire universe together.
He saved it. Nobody wanted
saved it.
No, sir, can't let you take it from him. When Vin Diesel did that cameo at the end of the third one,
you can't even say the name of it.
Well, I'm just saying what it was. He saved the franchise because that made you want to see the next one. And you're wondering, how does he know this kid? And when did he get to Tokyo? And like Spider said, did you have a guy there with the charger? Or did you import your charger? What's really going on?
The import fees alone, going to these different countries and back, have to be astronomical. Unless he knows a guy with a shipping manifest that he could just slide his charger in whenever he wants to.
But look at what they did with the character. Heavy muscle, drift. Took down the drift king.
Mm-hmm.
He can maneuver that's like no other. Because he can see in codes and matrix codes. There you go. He is Franklin on Grand Theft Auto when you drive in slow-mo.
Slow down time. But so we got the small connection to the entire Fast and Furious universe at the end of 3 with the cameo of Dominic Toretto. So we come back to 4, which after much negotiation, we got the original cast back. We got Letty, we got Mia, we got Dom, we got Brian. We got everybody back.
Rest in peace, Mouse.
Mouse is from the Matrix.
You know what I said?
Was that the same guy that played Mouse? He played.
Was he?
I'm asking you.
There's so many similarities, right?
There are similarities. But I mean, Mouse didn't die doing stupid. No, that was a different character. Jesse was somebody different. Jesse wasn't Mouse.
Okay.
I'm double checking. You know, I got to double check just to be sure.
No, I think you're absolutely right. And I could be absolutely. Here we go. There you go. All things super. Doing the research for you.
But Jesse was.
Don't say we don't do the research on this show. Don't you do it live? Well, not when you're watching it, but
right
when it was happening, it was live.
Yeah, they were played by 2 different characters.
There you go. You were right, and I was curiously making you think about it.
But
you can't take that from me.
We get Fast and Furious. Again, deviation from the name. Which Fast and Furious was technically the sequel to The Fast and the Furious, which was the first one, because it was necessarily a direct, like it happened right afterwards, but eventually, as far as storylines were concerned, the Fast and Furious was more connected to the Fast and the Furious than it was as the movie that came right before it, which was Tokyo Drift. And so, like we said, that was the revamp of the whole entire franchise, and that kind of revitalized everything. And that was the last.
And look what you got at the end of it, though. Toretto turning himself in.
Right.
No longer running. He's accepting responsibility. It is a character. It's a story growth. It's a character. He's now redeeming himself. Then we like, nah, that's messed up, man. Why Toretto gotta go like, you're a good guy, you're a good dude, man. You ain't gotta go like that. They did him wrong.
So they make sure that he doesn't go to jail. But
exactly. So
it was
gotta get him out. That's what family do.
There was this progression of, in the first 3 movies, there was the Fast and the Furious, the first one, was all about the street racing, car culture, underground, street racing, all this other kind of stuff.
That is now hinted at.
Right. And then we get into Too Fast, Too Furious, where it is still about car culture, not necessarily so much about street racing, but more about that.
It was about racing.
It was about racing, but then
it was about...
we got into the whole undercover cop work type thing, which was, again, following the storyline from the first movie, because Brian was an undercover cop going into finding about these rings of thefts by street racers. He had to he had to infiltrate, become one of them, so he could figure out what was going on. So much to the point to where he related to Toretto so much that he let him go at the end of the movie.
Well, yeah,
and so it led into, of course, Brian running, because he let a fugitive go, he's also a wanted man. So he had to run. He ended up in Miami.
Good storytelling.
Good storytelling. And so we deviate from that. We leave the cop stuff out. We not necessarily leave the street racing out. We kind of come back, focus more on the racing, focus more on the car culture, because
wait. When we went to 2, it was about the cop stuff, but they did incorporate the races. They had a race to see who was the fastest, and then, it was like
they opened the movie
running,
just like they did. Well, not necessarily that they did in the first one, but they opened the movie with a race. We get the reintroduction of Brian because Tej calls him up because one of the drivers calls out, so they need a fourth. So he runs up, and we open the movie with a great choreographed race scene. And so we leave the cop stuff out, focus more on the racing and the car culture in Tokyo Drift. Kind of flops, most likely probably because it is a movie that's supposed to be part of the franchise, but doesn't include any of the main cast in the franchise. So I think that's part of why a lot of people didn't like Tokyo Drift. There are some people who still like Tokyo Drift. I mean, I could take it or leave it. It's kind of just a mid movie to me. But
damn,
once we get, like you said, we get Vin Diesel to come back, make a cameo appearance. And so now we have Toretto is an established part. Basically, he is the linchpin. He's the through line of the entire franchise. Even though he wasn't in 2, he was only a little bit of 3. He's basically the patriarch of the family.
He's the guy we follow.
He's our keystone. And so we get back into 4, Fast and Furious, and then I think they tried to take a more grounded approach, because we did have some wild things, ejectocito cuz in Too Fast, Too Furious, and
we still had
I'm not saying that we didn't have wild things in the 4th one.
We had Toretto vision.
That's what I'm saying. It's not that we didn't have wild things in the 4th one, but it wasn't all about the action scenes and the choreography and the stunts. They had the big action set piece in the end when they were going through the tunnels and everything. But as far as the entire movie, that wasn't the main focus. But then we get into 5, and then that's when, even though 4 was sort of the reboot of the franchise, 5 was the turning point as to, this is what you are to expect now with the movies going forward. Because just like we said at the beginning, in 9 they went to space. how do you? Because it's
Can't
just been
can't really
ramping up.
top that.
It's
Right.
been ramping up every
You
single
blow up a
movie.
planet. We
But
gotta somehow Palpatine has returned. You gotta blow up a moon or
you got to do
something.
something. Got to bring in Galactus and the Silver Surfer or something.
You was talking about me bringing in the MCU.
Look, you brought in a specific movie that had no tie-ins to this at all. We talking about blowing up planets. You talked about Palpatine. I talked about Galactus. They both characters that blow up planets. More of a connection.
That's all I'm saying. The guy pulls people in. Everything is. I don't even want to meet him. Like, yeah, I'm doing this job for Toretto. You know what happened? You say what's up. I was like, whatever you need, dude. What I got you.
He told me what's up. Next thing I know, I was at a barbecue saying grace.
Yeah, because I took the first piece of chicken. I didn't know. And that's how it happened. Something in that chicken. Good.
But so Fast Five, we get just probably, I would say probably the most memorable.
Oh, come on.
Movie of the franchise.
Give it to him. Let them have that. That was some creative thing, and they tied in the love of the Dodge in it because they are responsible for Chargers' popularity. Seriously, there's only, I think Miami Vice had a Charger in it, and I'm not saying there aren't other movies that have Chargers in it, but those were early, and they've been consistently running with the franchise with Chargers. When they did that deal, it was like, hey, you work with us, we'll work with you, we'll make you look good.
Right.
And that partnership they've given them old school Chargers, they've given them Hellcats, they've given at least some level of Dodge, even some of the commercial vehicles. I didn't understand those choices. The Dodge was right there because, I don't know, contracts, I don't know. But I'm just saying, consistently, for those who love the Charger,
it's going to be right there for you.
That it broke some vehicles.
Oh,
in the trailer.
A lot of vehicles.
Oh, yeah. Plus, remember when they threw all those cars off the roof? That was very great. What? It was a cool scene.
The amount of budget for vehicles for these movies, that has to be like the majority of the budget for the film.
Remember in 2 how they all came out the garage?
That was a
they go out go out to coordinate with the trucks,
right?
The coordinating that. Wow.
Because it wasn't that they rolled out of the garage and then they left. They rolled out of the garage. They like drove around in circles. You got like 80 something cars in one lot, just kind of all going around each other. And I'm sure that there was some type of choreographed pattern that they were following, but the way that it was shot, it really looked like it was just massive chaos.
I don't think people are giving credit to what those old movies used to be.
No, not at all. Because it's always about what I've seen lately and the next best thing and the next greatest thing. But I do, even though we're so far removed from Fast Five, I think that the peak of this franchise has been 5, 6, and 7. I feel like those were the best movies out of this entire franchise.
Your lottery numbers, what you saying?
No, I'm not talking about lottery numbers. I'm talking about Fast Five. What was it? Fast 6? What was the name of 6? Fast and Furious 6, and then Furious 7.
Well, listen, when we found out Letty was alive, you can't tell me that didn't do something for you. And to get her back, and she got amnesia, it's a telenovela.
It really is.
A telenovela. She got amnesia. Not our Letty.
And now
we know Letty from what?
Dom has to make her remember how much she loves him.
She shot him. She Latina, so that's how they say I love you. If you ain't catch a bullet, they just kind of like it,
Right.
Please don't shoot nobody. It's a joke, ladies. But at the same time, you still. What did he say? You don't turn your back on family.
You don't turn your back on family.
I'm like, That's before they shoot me. After that, your statement is clear. You don't want to be bothered.
Again,
I,
Toretto's been shot. Still didn't go to the
right?
hospital.
Nah, they just stitched him
I don't
up.
think Toretto has ever been admitted into a hospital a day in his life.
And he's good at B&E. He
He,
got in Helena's house, like, okay, put that hand over their mouth. That's a home invasion,
he
sir.
is a man of many skills.
He is on. That's what I'm trying to tell you. He's an android. He's a super genius. He is the man. He's triple X with a car. He's genetically made. I'm telling you, it's the same character. Because the things that he's able to do.
It's
With a car.
It's just, I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it.
Turn your brain off.
You at this point you have to, and you have to. For anyone going into the newest Fast and Furious Fast Saga film, if you go into this and you're looking for artistic interpretation and cinematic, ingenuity and all this other kind of stuff, just don't, because that's not what you're gonna get out of this movie.
But here's the thing: it was that in the beginning.
It was, at least it attempted
when you see Brian call for backup and Mia's looking at him, your heart's dropping. It's like, wow. And when Toretto sees that he's a cop,
and his
expression,
because Vince tried to tell him, and he told Vince that he was crazy, and they brought that back in Fast 5. They had that argument.
What? In the garage with the ka. What you doing in here? I'm not expecting to see you in here. He's mystical. You ain't even hit a charger. What you doing in here, Brian? I owe you 10-second cards. Don't let it go. Don't let it go. Because apparently it's about family. And if I got to put you in the trunk of that charger, he a good dude, though. He a good dude, right?
At his core, he's a good dude.
He redeemed himself. He turned himself in and they broke him out, and he been on a run till Mr. Nobody got him home.
And so that's the thing that I don't think anybody could have seen the transition coming, because we had, like I said, 4 was a little grounded because we were just trying to figure out, what was going on with this person who's, running drugs and all this other kind of stuff in Braga. And so we lose Letty. And we go into 5 because after Dom turned himself in, and of course, because he probably felt like at that point, I lost the love of my life. Like you say, he a good dude. Let me do the right thing. I'm wonderful all of these crimes. Let me protect my family, because as long as they're around me, they're not going to be safe. So I'm gonna turn myself in. And
then later on, Rick and Morty do it.
Sure. But turns himself in. And of course, they go break him out. And
Rick broke himself out.
I'm not even talking about Rick and Morty.
Keep going, I got you.
So we get into 5, and it's really because the motivation behind stealing Reyes's money was basically because they came after them after they messed up one of his jobs. Because honestly, if you think about it,
ain't that cheeky?
If you think about it, if Dom had not,
ain't that petty?
If Dom had not shown up on the job, because if it was just Vince and Mia and Brian, they would have delivered the cars like they were supposed to. Those DEA agents would have never gotten shot. Hobbs would have never had to come down to Brazil.
Yeah, but and they also would have been dead. Because they was going to kill Brian and Mia.
I'm sure they would have gotten away.
Oh, here we go.
Okay, so here's the thing. We already know that Dom...
Brian is capable of fighting, yes.
Well, no. Not only that, but we already know that Dom is a man of many talents. We talked about how Dom is, an expert driver. He's good with weapons. He's good at hand-to-hand combat. He's a brilliant tactician. He can make a plan. He can devise a plan. He can see...
He's Triple X.
He is Triple X. But he can see, he can determine what other people's characteristics are. He can read other people. He can read other people's plans and everything. But the perfect balance to Dom is Brian, because
Kind of like a yin and a yang, huh?
kind of like a kind of like a yin and a yang, but it's they're opposites, but they're not opposites, right? Because whereas
One like imports and one like American.
I wasn't really going in that direction, but sure.
But that's what they
But
wanted you
that
to have,
right,
even down to the kid. He's gonna be a Toretto. He's gonna want a monster car. Now, Jack, you're gonna want to import.
right. And so we have this dynamic between the two of them where we this is probably one of the best friendships in
Come on,
any
man.
film, any franchise,
Here we
between
go.
Brian O'Connor and Dominic Toretto. And I think that due to the untimely passing of Paul Walker, not that the movies that he hasn't been in haven't been enjoyable. I just feel like there is that little missing part. And one thing that I'll never understand, and I'm pretty sure that I brought this up before, when Elena had her baby, the baby never got named. Elena unfortunately got killed. Cypher killed her. They get the baby back. They're having a barbecue at the end of what was that? At the end of 8. And they name the baby Brian. And nobody can explain to me why that makes sense. Because I understand.
Because the spirit of, hey, what are you talking about? Why you named T'Challa?
Because that's named after his father. His
Well,
father
guess
who
what?
died.
Stop stirring up mess in the extra.
Because it would be something different as if in movie Brian died. But in the movie, as the franchise is concerned, Brian is still alive.
Hey, who cares? It don't make no sense or not. It's Brian, and we're gonna take it. We love it. Rest in peace, Paul Walker.
It would have made more sense if they would have named him Paul.
It did not make any sense for the name of Brian. They should have named him Paul, and that would have hit. Maybe that would have hit too home. You know, because when Paul Walker died, the world stopped. I was one of those people that kind of like what?
It was a shock to everybody.
Yeah, and because selfishly, I was like, I just need them to like make 9 more movies,
and which they probably will.
Here we are on 10. So I was still hurt the fact that he died, though, and even to find out that he died in a car. That's like art and life coming together. And Brian O'Connor just wouldn't make those mistakes. And then you find out he wasn't driving. So, you're like, he really wouldn't have made those mistakes. Like, God damn. And it's tragic because it's real. And I'm not trying to take anything from it. I stopped. And I was really saddened that he was gone. And you've seen how much it hurt everybody else in that franchise. But like Brian would have wanted, at least I hope so, that they continue to go on.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they did a fantastic tribute to him. And Wiz Khalifa and Charlie Puth
at the end of 7. Absolutely, yeah.
Wrote a song that changed the goddamn. That's one song I gotta say that I never really got tired of hearing. They just kind of let it fade away.
As songs do, yeah.
Yeah, because you gotta play the new stuff. But if you put that on, everybody attach that emotion to Paul Walker.
Right. I don't think you'll have anybody where you turn that song on and they'll be like, change that. It
was a beautiful song.
Yeah.
Damn.
And it's so funny because since I watched 5, the scene at the end of 7 where they're having their
barbecue.
No, not the barbecue. When they're having their final race.
Oh.
Where Brian kind of drives off into the distance.
Yeah.
because they had to shoot those final scenes with Paul Walker's brother, and then they did the CGI mapping of Paul Walker's face on his. There was a scene in 5 where they're drag racing with the cop cars, and Brian is kind of leaning up and he's looking into the other car. He's looking at Dom, and I think that's the exact frame, like, of his face that they use for that final driving off in 7, because it just so happened that when I was watching it, it just like it caught me off guard. I was like, that looks like almost a 1-for-1, because he's kind of in the same position, like leaning forward while he's driving and then looking, because Dom is on the same side of him as he was in Fast 5. So I'm thinking that's kind of like the what they took it from, and then just like mess with the lighting and everything. But having, and this is why I say, 5, 6, and 7 were kind of like to me, peak Fast and Furious, because not only did we got great villains, because
Yeah.
not only was,
look what they said. These are us.
right, not only was Reyes a villain in 5, but Hobbs was a villain in 5 until we brought Hobbs over to our side. But then we get Owen Shaw, and then we get Deckard Shaw, and it's like, I don't know about you, but I have always been a Jason Statham fan ever since I saw him in Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels.
Well, it was the transporter for me, but I got
Also a great one. But he's probably one of my favorite action stars to watch, because he was,
who also has a no lose contract clause.
Seemingly so. But it used to always seem like you had action stars who were either martial artists, or you had action stars. So you had your action stars like Jackie Chan, Jet Li, Bruce Lee, martial artists, and they tell their stories through their craft of martial arts. Then you had action stars like Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Chuck Norris, who
guns, baby, they glizzy.
And so it's really a comparison between like foreign action stars versus American action stars. Well, not necessarily Schwarzenegger, because Schwarzenegger's Austrian, but he was making American films. But again, those action stars, like you say, it's about the guns. But then you have Jason Statham, who
Charles Bronson too.
Charles Bronson as well. But you have Jason Statham, who seemed like a perfect amalgamation of the two, where he could do the hand-to-hand stuff, but then he could also do the gunplay stuff too. And he did it so well. And bringing him into the franchise, we see, of course, the post-credit scene on Fast and Furious 6, where we see that he's the one that killed Han, and Han was arguably the best part of 3. So we've seen, now we have a face, because at first, we watching 3, we just thought it was an accident, and Han died in an accident. And again, he was like, Han wouldn't die like that. So something is really
wouldn't die like that.
And so we get this reveal as to who the person responsible for that was. And it's like, oh shit, we about to have a Vin Diesel against Jason Statham in the next movie. And we got that, and that fight did not disappoint. But then again,
the street always wins. Is I don't know who wrote that one.
Listen, one thing we do not go to see Fast and Furious movies for is the dialogue.
No, wait, because what's the other one that say, you didn't think this was gonna be a street fight, did you?
Yeah.
I'm okay with that one. But one thing about the streets
always win.
But it's true. It's not okay. Not when the building is falling. I'm just saying the timing. And then turn around and drive it right back up. It's light work. It's light work. Throw these bombs on this helicopter and just crash it down.
If anything, is the franchise is known for their one-liners, right? It's at we hungry. Ejectocito, cuz daddy's got to go to work. All of these different lines. Don't let them get in cars, right?
That's another. Whoa! I'll defend that one. Daddy got to go to work.
No, what I'm saying is that it's not about whether those lines are good or bad. It's about them being memorable.
This
And
is true.
that's what the franchise is quoted for. But I feel like in the last couple of films, we haven't really gotten, at least in my memory, I might have to go back and watch some of them again, but I can't remember like a witty line from Cypher or a witty line from, I don't even remember fucking John Cena's character name, Baby Toretto, whatever his name was.
Wow. Oh, so much aggression. They don't look alike, sir, but you gonna treat them with respect.
He's the younger Toretto. What was his name? Chad Thomas?
Yeah, who's naming these kids? who's naming?
Dominic and Jacob. Jacob with a K.
There you go. Oh wow. So much disdain when you say it.
But I'm just saying that I can't.
Who is also in the movie now?
But I'm just saying that from 8 and 9, I can't remember like an iconic line out of those movies that I could, say to somebody.
Ass on Frego? That's not iconic. Oh, you wouldn't say it to somebody.
I mean, I wouldn't say that to somebody.
Hope not.
Well, I mean, yeah, saying. I guess that could be one. Yeah, but it's just, I don't know. It's just, like I said, after Paul Walker passed away, it's just something that's been, just that his aura has been missing from the films. And it's not to say it's not to say that, it would be written any differently or anything like that, but it's just
it probably
that key
would
person
be.
that we came up, being a part of this franchise. And then, now that they're gone, it's just,
there was many people that said that they should have stopped when Paul died. That's it. They said that.
Ending at 7 would have been a nice cap off to everything, because they had their records quite clean. They were done with the Shaws.
They went home.
And they said they were done with running. They were finally free, and that could have been the end of it.
Yeah, but look what happened.
They wanted more money. And so they came out with Fate of the Furious.
They blew up their house.
Oh, yeah, I know that. But I'm just saying they didn't have to. They could have easily not written that.
Hey, man, somebody blew up your house. You got to figure out who that is. You don't just let that slide.
They could have stopped at 7.
I'm just saying.
It would have been fine.
Again, this guy is a super genius. It ain't hard work. It's light work. He in Dubai the next weekend. What a charger. Like, everybody got Lambos and Ferraris. You bring out that Dodge.
No, what I'm saying is that because all of that was in 7.
I know.
Yeah, but you saying that they blew up their house so they had to have the movie. I'm just saying after this movie was done, they could have been done with the whole franchise.
You mean after they rebuilt the house?
Yeah.
Maybe. Clearly they had other things going on. They had to steal that thing from Mr. Nobody. Because we come back and that's what they're doing. They're already on a heist. We don't know what happened to kind of make the heist happen.
Well, you talking about an 8?
This is when Toretto turned.
Right.
Yeah. So we don't know.
But no, that was their second heist, right? Because then they finish one, and then we get them going back to Puerto Rico, and Dom's walking home from the market, whatever. He runs into Cypher.
You're absolutely right.
They go on their next job.
That's what I'm saying. They clearly had to do it for Mr. Nobody. Other than that, why are we still in this thing?
Right.
So maybe Mr. Nobody threatened Toretto, which is explained now why he's on the run.
Why Mr. Nobody's on the run?
Mr. Nobody got shot. Toretto does what he does, put the little sauce on it, and now him and Mr. Nobody cool. But we haven't seen Mr. Nobody. Toretto's looking for him. Remember, they went to the crash site and he wasn't there.
I don't think we're not going to see Mr. Nobody again, because we already had Little Nobody. And now,
but he was with Mr. Nobody.
He was with Mr. Nobody. But
And we didn't see him when Mr. Nobody was gone. The point that I'm saying is that could be a plot line and the storyline that they drop, or they could possibly pay it off.
well, I think that Brie Larson is supposed to be taking that like Mr. Nobody character or type of Mr. Nobody type of character.
Is it a gender swap?
No,
is
no,
that
no,
what's
no.
going
It's
on?
not supposed to be like a
Is she
successor.
Captain Marvel?
No, she's not Captain Marvel.
She is in another movie.
Yeah, and I think that movie's called Captain Marvel or the Marvels.
You said it right. Oh yeah,
but
there you go.
She's like the government agent who's supposed to be their liaison. So I think that's her character that's going to be in the next movie. And seeing as the Fast 10 is no longer just 2 parts, it's now 3 parts.
That's amazing.
So I don't know if Brie Larson
we'll
is
see
going
Mr.
to
Nobody again.
Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know what they're planning on doing. I don't know why they changed it from 2 parts to 3 parts. I don't even know why it was a 2-part movie in the first place.
Because the people have spoken, and the storyline needs another part to wrap it up completely. But here's the thing. Here's what I want to say. Here's what I don't want you to do. Don't bring Brian back.
No, you can't.
Yeah, just don't allude to him. Let him live happily ever after, and don't mention him.
But I mean, I feel like we are going to have to.
Why? Because we named the baby Brian?
No, not because we named the baby Brian, but isn't Mia in Fast 10?
Well, she needs a check, so.
But I'm saying we can't have like the whole thing is that Jason Momoa's character as Reyes's son, whose name is Dante Reyes. So if he's threatening Dom with going after his family, Mia is a part of his family.
This is true.
We can't have them say that Mia is safe without putting Brian in there somewhere.
This is also true.
Because it's Brian, Mia, and I forget Jack. So Brian, Mia, and Jack. So of course we have to make sure that they're all safe, and you can't mention one without mentioning the others.
Maybe you'll see an adult Jack, or at least a young teen Jack.
Hey, it'll probably be a teen Jack because 7 took place. Let's see. The film is set after the events of Fast and Furious 6. Continues from the ending of Tokyo Drift. It doesn't say how long after 7 that 8 takes place, but it says that Fast 9 takes place 2 years after the Fate of the Furious. So
I'm certain somebody followed along with everything that you just said. I'm not one of them.
But yeah, so Jack at this point would probably have to be, and depending on, because it said that Fast 10 is set after the events of Fast 9 and 12 years after Fast 5. So Mia was pregnant in Fast 5. So let's say that at the end of Fast 5, she had the baby. So let's say 12 years later. So Jack is probably 12, almost 13.
Perfect age to drive cars in foreign countries.
Maybe.
Hey, there is a spinoff that came from this franchise. There's a Fast and the Furious Toretto animated series just for kids.
Yes.
I think it's Toretto's cousin or something like that. It's a universe, baby. Toretto's a genius.
It's a very extended universe.
Yeah, because we got the Hobbs and Shaw spinoff that goes into cybernetics.
Right. And
which, if we work together, and I take a punch and you take a punch, that's how they combated that. Because I don't know if Idris Elba he can't lose. Clearly, he doesn't.
I mean, he definitely lost.
Yeah, imagine if he had that contract clause, he probably wouldn't have got that job.
Probably not. He in the Losers, he ended up turning on his team. He ended up losing at the end of that movie too.
Yeah, well, clearly he has that in his clause. He's gonna turn on you at any point in time.
But he didn't turn on anybody in the Thor movies.
He should have turned on Jane. She did not follow the rules to get to Valhalla.
Look, I don't know, but
She did not die in battle.
I'm not about to go into the Thor:
Okay,
Love and Thunder right now.
I thought
I'm
you
not
was.
disagreeing with you. I'm not disagreeing with you at all.
It's just a conversation.
It's just a conversation. But so what do we expect to see in Fast 10? I already know we're going to see more explosions, more crazy.
I expect to see Brie Larson.
more, yeah, I know.
What?
I don't even know why I
She's
asked
in
that
the
question.
movie.
Yeah, she is in the
She's
movie,
in the-
along with
she's
a lot
in
of
the-
other people.
I'm gonna see them too.
But do we think Helen Mirren's coming back? Are we going to see? We already know we're seeing Deckard Shaw. We're going to see Owen Shaw again. We saw them have their brother choreographed fight scene on a plane to save baby Brian. I think that was the last time we saw Owen Shaw.
Yeah, well, we'll see Cardi B. Well, will she show up
I
next?
don't think we'll see Cardi B.
Oh, Cardi is in this.
Is she?
Cardi got good people on her payroll. She's in this thing.
Is this confirmed or is this what you're speculating?
They confirmed it when she did it the last time.
I don't think that's the way that works.
Okay.
Have you seen Iggy Azalea in another Fast and Furious movie?
Did Iggy say that she was confirmed to be in the movie?
That's what I'm asking. That's what I'm asking you.
I don't think Iggy out here lying and saying that.
When they filmed Fast 9, Cardi confirmed that she's going to be in Fast 10 as well.
Cardi didn't have to confirm nothing. The people spoke.
God, see, you
Red Bottle NJ moonwalking on the egg. What?
I don't think we'll see Cardi in this.
Okay, so I don't know what we're going to see. I think we're going to get fast cars.
Yes.
We're going to get a conclusion, or at least a beginning of conclusion.
No. We're not getting anything, any conclusions. If this is going to be 3 parts, I don't think there's going to be any conclusions in it.
Yeah, we seen Letty and Cypher fighting. We have no idea how that even transpired. Who got Letty? How did Letty get got? And how we already seen that we thought it was what is John? And his name's John Cena. Jacob working with, again, the level of stakes that they have to raise to say how badass somebody is what you're witnessing. Because not only Dom has a brother in Jacob, he does this, that, then some. He's like, it's in the. These guys are Jason Bourne, okay? It's just he went off as a kid because him and his brother got into it, but he's been running Black Ops, and he's so good that he caught Cypher, the guy that you're dealing with or your enemy. Right. I got them in a box.
And it's so funny that Jacob can do all of this stuff because he's out of all his training and everything, and Dom can just do all of it in his sleep. And that's literally what Cypher, like how Cypher got into Jacob's head, because she's like, you're tired of living in your brother's shadow. And Dom was always the better one. He didn't need the training. He didn't need to go to some military school. He didn't need to join a government organization, but he ended up working with one, like you said, because he got the pheromones. It's the juice. But
it's the juice.
But Dom is just this naturally talented, super intelligent, hyper alpha human being. He can just do everything.
You slow down time.
He can slow down time. He can not only slow down time, he can rewind time. He can see accidents just as they happen in the past.
That's the Toretto vision. That's what I'm telling you.
I'm trying to remember.
Like
have we seen him use Toretto vision since then?
No, because I think it was all agreed that this is some bullshit. I think you guys took liberties way too fucking far.
I think y'all going a little bit too far. I think every time,
like he would step on the site and just recreate. From a drop of oil, he could recreate the whole thing, huh?
He smells the nos in the air and all.
Oh my god!
But no, I think
he's something else.
I think that every single time they may have like inferred it in movies since then, because he'll kind of like stand there and like zoom in on his face, and that's him like mentally using it, and then he comes up with a new plan.
He's better than Batman. This is better than Batman. It's a bad family right there.
It is a bad family.
for Tyrese's character to call out the absurd,
The fact that they've been getting shot at and none of them died.
it's so in your face with it. It's like, nothing ain't gonna happen to us. We went to space in scuba gear
And duct tape.
Duct tape
You
on
know,
a
it
rocket.
wasn't not even a rocket. It
In
was
a
like a
Fiat.
yeah, like a Pontiac Fiero, something like that.
If you don't turn your brain off, get you some popcorn, put some chocolate in it, and enjoy this movie.
I think that was probably the best thing that they could have done in acknowledging the fact that they know, like, yes, we know this is ridiculous. Yes, we know that all these characters should have died 18 times over by now. We literally had they get out of that like accident or going down the hill and everything. Rome is standing there, has the truck like literally appear to fall on top of him, and he just walks from around behind the back. And it's like, yes, we understand at this point there is nothing
We're
that's
in a
gonna
cartoon.
happen. Right. We were literally when we had an 80-mile airplane runway in Fast 6. They're like, okay, yes, this is just completely ridiculous at this point. There is no limit as to what they can do or what they're gonna do. The plane catches on fire, down drives out of the nose. When the parking garage falls, down drives out of the rubble. You know, there's no destruction to this man. There's no destruction to the family unless it's like justified in some type of way. Like Vince died, Jesse died, you know, and it's like it's sort of the.
Well, Tyrese said he ain't going to no more funerals.
Tyrese did say he wasn't going to any more funerals.
Since then, nobody died.
They have not gone to any more funerals.
Tyrese is the linchpin of the franchise. When he said he ain't doing no more funerals,
I ain't say all of that.
Nobody else died.
Nobody else has died. You are correct.
It's just everybody kept coming back. It's like Letty's back, Han's back. Then we brought your boy from part 3 back.
Because that was at Han's funeral, right?
Yeah, we brought Bow Wow back.
That they weren't attending anymore. He didn't want to attend any more funerals. But whose funeral did he go to? Oh, it was Letty's funeral that they went to. Well, no, because Rome wasn't even part of the crew when Letty died. So whose other funeral did he go to?
Paul Walker's.
No, not Paul Walker's. God, what's her name? Gal Gadot's character's name.
Oh yeah, well, she did die.
She did.
I don't know. She didn't have a funeral though. Han just went to Tokyo.
That was it. That's how they remembered her. Han just went to Tokyo, and then Han gets killed.
No more funerals.
No more funerals. God, what is her name? I feel bad that I'm blanking on her name.
Ooh,
Giselle.
Giselle got call a woman Giselle Gal Gadot. She got enough G's in her name.
But yeah, so I don't really know what we're gonna see. Like I said, we're gonna see you said we're gonna see fast cars. We're gonna see. We already saw in the trailer that they're gonna be some type of drag race. We're gonna see that Charger multiple times. And I just think that it's like you say, we're just turn your brain off, and it's just gonna be it's gonna be what it's gonna be.
You gotta see the conclusion. And there's a story in here. And you and I talked about this before. If this franchise does not end with Dominic Toretto's father being alive, I will be shocked.
Or what happened to
I will be
the
shocked
mom?
if he's.
And that's one thing that I can't remember. What happened to the mom?
I think they hinted at her in the last movie. There was a lady that she was talking to that wasn't Helen Mirren.
No, that was in the
I think it's in this movie.
That was in the trailer. I think that's
So I think the mom
that's his
is
grandmother.
You're gonna be disappointed. I think that's the mom, but I could be wrong. It could be my mom, or I could have heard it wrong. What? Mama? Mom?
Well, you got 7 whispering in your ear again.
Sweet nothing is in my ear.
Because her character is named Abuela Toretto. So that is
So
grandmother.
there you go. And look, they didn't even
Well,
have to go all the way to the islands to see her.
as she could be a grandmother. She could be Lil Brian's grandmother. So that could
Ooh.
be Toretto's mom.
Ooh. It's almost like what I said was correct.
But I don't know. I think if her character is now currently being listed as Abuela Toretto, then I think that because Dom has always been the focal point of these movies, I think it's going to be his grandmother.
So go ahead and ask the question then. Where is the mother?
That's what I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if they mentioned before what happened
So
in the
much
mom.
more story to tell. We need to add another one on to the other
No, I
three.
don't need this to be 4 parts. Just
Yeah.
don't. Why it gotta be fast? Why does it have to be Fast 10 Part 1, Part 2, and Part 3? Why can't it just be Fast 10 and Fast 11?
Because we're not slowing down, baby.
We
Part
are
one,
slowing
part two.
down. We're slowing way down to where we're drawing the movies out in parts instead of just moving on to the next one.
That's how you get a drift going. See, he told you he could beat the drift king. That's how you drift. You pull that handbrake up and you just slide into that money. Slide into that money. And then right when you catch traction, you peel off. And then you're gone forever.
But they're not,
then you're gone
because they
forever.
always come back.
No.
Because you never leave family behind.
Well, you don't turn your back on family.
You don't leave family behind either. When in Fast 5, when
so you always walk with your family in front of you?
Yeah.
If you don't turn your back to family, you never leave them behind. They walk in front of you, you all right.
Exactly.
I got you.
You always got their back. You always got their back, so you're always behind them.
And it makes sense. If you look at it that way, it makes sense.
But like you said, Dom's a good dude, because even in Fast 5, it's just because it's at the forefront of my mind because I just watched it. But all of that shit that Hobbs talked to Dom, the fight that they went through, they got arrested. Hobbs basically telling them that he's gonna go away forever. They get ambushed. Dom could have easily just took Brian and me and be like, all right, cool, we out. But he said, nope.
Pheromones.
If he's gonna help Hobbs up, and Hobbs then becomes a part of the family. Here's my thing, because, and I didn't remember this, had not watched Fast 5 in a while. So we're going into Fast 10, and we see that and I forgot the son's name already again. Dante Reyes, played by Jason Momoa. We see that Dante has a vendetta against Dominic Toretto.
Yeah, man. And stole my family's money.
Right.
Kill my dad.
But the thing about it is, Dom didn't kill Hernan Reyes. Hobbs did.
This is for my team, son of a bitch.
Exactly. And he just blasted him a couple times on the ground. So,
guess what? Hobbs ain't here.
So, but here's the thing. Do we see in a sequel Hobbs get reintroduced, because now Dante goes after Hobbs?
I think if The Rock does not come back to this franchise, even with them making an extension to give him another chance, they might give you one more after this one. I think if he does not come back to this franchise and put that character to rest, it'll be one of the biggest disadvantages in his career. That character is his way more than Black Adam was his.
Oh, absolutely.
And 100%. I know he had Black Adam for a long time. I know he did, and he wanted to play Black Adam. That happened, and that happened. But this one here, that character there, dude.
Had it been anybody other than The Rock, they may have come back in sequels and other films in the Fast franchise, but they would not have gotten a spinoff. Hobbs would have not gotten his own movie. And
at all.
And this is exactly why in my opinion, it didn't work because of who Black Adam is as a character and why The Rock wasn't the best choice for him. Because in those points where Black Adam is the asshole, is the tyrant, is the maniacal, leader of this nation or protector of this nation of Kahndaq, The Rock can't be anything other than likable. He can be fierce, he can be menacing, he can be threatening, but he's still going to be likable. He's still going to be charismatic. It's like if
he's electrifying.
He is the most electrifying man in sports entertainment.
All of entertainment. If you smell.
And because it's like The Rock wouldn't have been able to play the Hernan Reyes character. Somebody who's an asshole, who's a dick, who we want to lose. We see, even though we know that Hobbs is coming after Toretto and the family. We love Toretto and the family. We don't want to see Mia lose. We don't want to see Brian go to jail. We don't want to see Dom get caught or
you're
beat down
rooting
or killed.
for criminals.
We are.
The Rock is the law.
Exactly.
You're rooting for criminals.
But the thing
this is how you know how good this movie is. You've been riding the criminal rate. You've been stealing since the first one with DVDs. Nobody even used DVD players. Well, I won't say that, but somebody's probably still using them.
Yeah. Blu-rays.
VHS. Well, hey, listen. Get it out the bin. They're cheaper in the bin.
They are cheaper in the bin. They got some good classic movies in the bin.
Yeah, they're all right. They got them in there. The Fast and Furious 1 is in there. The collection is in there.
But
guarantee you it's in somebody's bin.
But we're going into Fast 10.
Yeah, we are.
We see, like I said, we see the motivation of Dante and want to come after Dom, and we see that
kill my father, steal my money. Yeah, right. I think that's
there was absolutely great motivation.
Well, here's the thing: before you even go into that, you gotta admire the way this telenovela keeps tying it in new characters and storylines and twists and turns. Letty's dead. She's not dead. Hobbs gone. Here he is. Eva Mendes is here. Oh, wait, she's back? No, she's just there for that. That's all she's there for.
Yeah.
And then
funny thing.
Or she could come back again and play the liaison of the government side. Or
I think it was in 8. Yeah, I think it was in 8. Eva Mendes was supposed to come back.
And then what happened?
And there was, I think, she had a baby.
Congratulations to her.
I think that's what happened. And so she wasn't able to.
Is that your baby?
You would know.
It was a legitimate question.
If that was my baby and I had a baby with Eva Mendes, you
wouldn't be doing this show.
No, not that I wouldn't be doing this show. I would be able to fly you out every week to come into the studio and we'd be able to record this in person.
That ain't nothing but love right there. That's amazing. I think she'll leave you for that. That's an expense that's just you too costly.
Well, to be
you and that baby, take that baby.
To be 100% honest, and at that point, we would probably be living in California, so we would be a lot closer to what we are right now.
Shout out to the Mendez, Sean too.
Shout out to Canada.
What?
Shawn Mendes is Canadian.
So is Ryan Reynolds. What does that have to do with Fast?
You said shout out to the Mendezes, even Sean. So Shawn Mendes. So I said shout out to Canada because Shawn Mendes is Canadian.
And I said so is Ryan Reynolds. He's also Canadian, and he was in Hobbs and Shaw. So I just
answered your own question.
No, I was giving that to the audience. That's what your tie-in is. Somebody knew, and they was waiting for me to say it. The other people, I said it. So now you know. Here we go.
But let us know what you're excited to see. We have is it this week?
What? It is.
It is this week. This week we will have the premiere of Fast 10.
Wakanda for sorry.
No.
Everybody's getting on these X's. Remember when it was just Malcolm Nah, it's everybody. Everybody on
That's a
Tri-
that's a stretch of time.
Triple X,
We
Toretto,
had a few of those.
maybe Ice Cube will show up.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised at this point. Show up as his character from Triple X.
On a motorcycle. What was his character's name?
I don't remember.
It was so like the most non-threatening name.
Oh, it was like so government. What was it? Triple X State of the Union.
Yeah, man. That one was it was different. That's all.
It was different.
Darian, was it Darian?
Darius Stone.
Right.
Get
Who's
on.
doing these names?
Because you get Ice Cube, get Samuel L. Jackson come back, get Exhibit to come back. Exhibit was in that one.
Yeah, you was.
Get all of them to come in.
Well,
Darius
you know,
Stone.
Darius Stone say he don't play with his life. He don't do all that. But he might drive a car. I don't know.
I don't know. He might look at he might roll it now and see one of them hit a ramp. He be like, nah, y'all motherfuckers crazy. Fuck this shit. He like, I had enough of that in the Triple X program.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. If he's at an event in a lowrider, would that be enough for you? If Ice Cube was in a lowrider at a car race, just as a spectator,
yeah, I'd be fine with that.
Yeah, nice little cameo.
Yeah, because I don't think that. Yeah, because Darius came back in the third one, didn't he? In the
third one of what?
Triple X was
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
Oh Lord, I can't believe I remember that.
Hey man, you got good brain cells left. That's what they do. They remember.
But
keep firing off.
Yeah, so no, I mean don't
be like me killing themselves.
There are endless possibilities
Vegeta.
of Vegeta didn't kill Cell though. That was Gohan.
The Prince of all Saiyans.
But no, there's endless possibilities of where they can take this franchise. To
the moon?
I don't know. That's the whole thing, because
a new dimension.
We didn't know there was going to be robot cars and flying off of the out of parking garages. We didn't know that.
Gary Gray did.
What I'm just saying, we as an audience, we didn't know they were going to be sliding on the submarine and have the Rock guiding missiles by hand. You know, there's so many things that's what I'm saying. Things that we have never thought of, never in a million years could fathom. I
hope nobody ever tried to attempt it either.
I hope not. But they can conceptualize these things and put them to the screen, and because the thing about it is, you have established properties like comic books and MCU and DC. We have somewhat of an idea as to how the story is going to progress because it's based on a comic book storyline for the most part.
So you saying this is an all bloodshot mission?
No, that's not anything like what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that the future of the Fast and Furious movies, because each film is a brand new creation, we never know what to expect. And I think that's part of what keeps everything exciting. Because like I said, with MCU, with DC, we see, this is a story about this particular superhero. And then, of course, all of the research goes into it. And it's like,
this is very true. We talked about that. Yeah.
So we know, we have somewhat of an idea as to what characters may get introduced or what progression of the story they're going to follow. But we don't know what's going to happen with the next Fast and Furious movie. We get to see little glimpses of what's happening in the clips, but like you said, we don't even know how the hell Letty gets captured because we have no frame of reference. We don't know, like, and back in the Fast and Furious comics that came out, the issue that came out in 1987, we know that Letty got caught by Dante, and she got experimented on. They were trying to put Cypher's brain into her body so they could trick Dominic. And so it's like we don't have
like you adding on more iterations.
Look, why else would you have them laying next to each other in this room?
Ooh,
I'm just saying.
You got theory time.
Some type of experimentation is going on. But
trying to get them eggs.
They're trying to create another Toretto baby. Put it in
Hey,
Cypher.
something's going on, man. That's what I'm trying to. Somehow Palpatine has returned. I'm trying to tell you something's going on. This dude is amazing.
It is insane.
Yeah.
But I don't know what to expect. Let us know in the comments what you think that you're going to expect in Fast and the Furious Fast 10 Part 1, 2, and 3. Who knows what we're going to see. But if you like this video, go ahead, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you can be notified when we have new episodes that come out. If you want the audio version of the podcast, just search for All Things Super on any of your favorite podcast streaming platforms. And if you want to join in on the conversation, just tweet at us at ATSuperPod.
And we like reading the comments all in your face.
And we like reading the comments.
All in your face.
All in your face. I'm excited. How
can you not be? It's fast.
It's just.
Who else is doing it? There's nobody else at that level doing it the way they're doing it.
I think if anybody who's
they tried
to do that,
what was that? Supercars.
What was that?
There was like a knockoff Fast and Furious Supercars.
Oh,
I shouldn't call it a knockoff because
I've never heard of it. So
Eddie Griffin was in it or something.
Oh, I haven't even heard of that. No, but no, it's just
exactly my point. Fast and Furious is a formula. It's a telenovela.
It's way more. I think that is what it is at its core, and then they just elevate it, and then they keep elevating it every movie. But
boom,
I don't think that because Fast and Furious has created this model, they've adopted this model, they've perfected this model. I don't think that anyone else can come behind them and do what it is that they're doing without being compared to Fast and Furious, and then
it's gonna be a loss.
Just basically saying that it's not living up to the original.
And then what Vision said, a thing isn't beautiful because it lasts. I don't know what he said to Ultron, but that's what I'm saying.
But being that as it may, as you said, I think it's beautiful because it lasts, because all things have to come to an end at some point.
I know they're crying about this show right now.
It's like, damn, he's still talking. But
it's our show.
We just like we said before, Fast 10 is going to be in 3 parts. Do we see a Fast 11, or do we see a continuation of the Fast franchise after Fast 10 is done?
Oh, you mean a spinoff? They already tested the water with that.
No. I'm talking about not talking about spinoffs. I'm talking about direct storyline continuation.
Listen, Toretto is getting to a point that he's tired of jumping cars from buildings to buildings. There's only so far you can go. You need a fresh take on this. But like Drake said, you got to start from the bottom.
I don't see any. I can't see them having any problems with going some years down the line and passing the story off to Brian Toretto and going with a new generation. Brian Toretto and Jack O'Connor is going to be Toretto and O'Connor back again.
What's wrong with that? That's what you're getting in the MCU.
It is.
You're getting the Young Avengers.
I just feel like that's the most logical progression to take.
Get it with Creed. I mean,
it's not unheard of.
Here's the thing. To do that, you need to start roping those characters in. Because we got to have time to care about those characters.
Well, Brian is going to be a big focus of this next one.
Will Jack be a focus?
Nah, I don't know. I don't know when the next time we'll see Jack.
And if he comes back, he'll say my mom and dad are safe. Well, my dad is safe.
My dad sent me to tell you that they're safe.
Tell you that he's safe.
He wanted me to come stay with you and Aunt Letty.
Right. Is Letty gonna leave again? Because she's been on this since she's been back and forth. She's like, I'm here, I'm out, I'm here, I'm out.
I mean,
gotta find myself.
No, it's not that she
I know
was
who
out.
I am.
It's not that she was out in Fast 9. It was just like, I thought we were done. I thought we were good. I thought we were like getting out and we would just, chill, be parents out in the wilderness, and she got roped back in because she couldn't let Dom go in
Pheromones.
there by himself. No. It was backwards because Dom wanted to be done, and Letty was the one that left to go do the job, and then Dom came and joined them because
he's magical.
but it's not that. I don't think it was that but to go to your questions as to Letty leaving, I don't think it was that she wanted to leave, but in her mind I don't think she ever wanted that parent life.
She didn't want that baby,
right? But
she's like, that's your kid, that ain't mine, I'm out. The streets is calling, and the streets always win.
well, I think that is as good a place as any to wrap it up. Oh my God, I am so excited to see this movie this week, and you should absolutely be excited to hear our review after we review it in our next episode. But thank you so much for joining us. We greatly appreciate it. We hope to see you all in the next episode. But until then, keep being Superman.